Hey, what's up guys, it's Marv and welcome back to another Asphalt Legends Unite video. Today I have a preview of the new RIMAC NIVERA Time Attack Edition. So this is one of the new cars featured in the recent mid-season update, and this is very special because it will be the featured Unite Pass car for the Black Friday season. And I say that's special because it is probably the best pass car we've gotten ever since the introduction of the Legend Pass all the way back in Asphalt 9. I believe the record still stood with the Aston Martin Victor because that was a very good A-class car. Now, of course, it is a free-to-play car, but I don't believe we've seen another pass car that would have been as good as that Aston Martin. But now we have a very good S-Class car in the RIMAC NIVERA Time Attack Edition. So in this video you'll see a couple of races with the car. Of course they aren't the best races and they aren't the most consistent races, but they do give you a pretty good idea of this car's performance. And I'm sure the number one thing you might be asking is, well, how does it compare against the RIMAC NIVERA? This is the version of the NIVERA that we already have in the game, and it was featured in the Drive Syndicate 3, and it was pretty easy to unlock. So a lot of players already have this car. So you might be asking yourself, is it worth it to get the Time Attack Edition or not? So once you get into the Cairo footage, which will come later in this video, you'll see the direct comparison between the two cars. Now obviously the one in orange is going to be my custom RIMAC NIVERA, but both of the cars are at full max stats, so none of them are crippled or anything like that. Now I did try my best to match the races. You'll see that there are some mistakes and there are some route differences, but honestly I didn't want to put way too much time into making this video because frankly then we would be splitting hairs. And also, if you want to see the very best runs possible with these cars, I'm sure that the other pro players are going to be uploading much better runs than I am. I'm simply showing you these cars side by side and hopefully giving you guys a good idea of their similarities and differences. So let's break it down. The Time Attack Edition basically has lower top speed but better everything else. So in terms of acceleration, it's about 2 points higher. In terms of handling, it's 10 points higher. And in terms of nitro, it is actually lower. So keep that in mind. And it really is that last nitro stat that makes the difference in my opinion. Because what you'll notice is that even though it takes basically no time at all for the Time Attack Edition to get up to its top speed, I will say that the extra nitro that the NIVERA has will come more in handy, especially shooting out of those long corners where you're starting from your base speed of drifting like around 150 miles an hour all the way to getting as fast as possible. That extra time, even though the NIVERA has slightly worse acceleration stats, it does accelerate almost just as good as the Time Attack Edition because it can stay in shockwave for longer. Something I will say though is the Time Attack Edition using double tap nitro does seem much more powerful than the double tap with the NIVERA. That makes sense because it is a higher nitro stat, but it does seem to be a very important factor in multiplayer because oftentimes you get bumped or something prevents you from getting shockwave in a corner. So I do believe that that extra double tap ability for the Time Attack will come in handy. Overall though, you will notice that both of these cars do play very similarly, and despite the handling increase for the Time Attack Edition, to be perfectly honest, I didn't notice it that much. Now during the 360 turn in Cairo, you will see that the Time Attack does have a slightly higher top speed, and on one of the cars I do just bump into a wall, so that will change how the car's handling does react. But overall the Time Attack Edition was better and a little bit sharper in the corners, but honestly I remember the NIVERA being way more sluggish than it was during my test, but that's probably because my version of the NIVERA that I use is only 3 stars. So obviously at max it will perform better than what I expect. And because of that, I wasn't expecting it to feel as sharp as the Time Attack Edition, but it did get pretty close. Again, for the Time Attack Edition, you will be more nimble, and especially on Singapore, that did come in handy. And this is one of the only cars that I feel very comfortable with that weird S corner where everyone wrecks on it in multiplayer with that stupid ramp. So keep that in mind. I don't think you would really have that experience with the normal Rivera. Anyway guys, I don't know if I'm running out of time, but I will say just because this is a Legend Pass car and not some crazy ridiculous amount of conditions are going to be required to get the key from its special event, I do believe that this will be very much worth it if you want to buy the pass. Honestly, I am thinking about it because with just that simple purchase, I have a very good S-Class car. Is it going to be a king? Absolutely not. The top speed is nowhere near it needs to be in order to match against the Venom F5, the Devil 16, those types of cars. However, I will say in multiplayer, I can imagine this is going to be very good, just frankly because of that acceleration and very good handling. And so with all that being said, it does sort of leave me with the idea of buying the pass, or well, maybe not buying the pass, but getting the pass, which I will hopefully talk about in a later video what I mean by that. But anyway, getting the key for this car through the pass and then using a bunch of my tokens to basically max it out because I have a ton saved up. And so I don't know if I want to risk getting a bunch of random cars through the burst of speed, or I basically have a guaranteed pretty good S-Class car and I probably won't need to spend all of my tokens because usually with key cars it doesn't take as much to start them up initially. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on the NIVERA Time Attack Edition in the comment section down below. Are you going to buy the pass for the Black Friday season? Maybe you can convince me I should, or maybe I shouldn't. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below and I will see you all later.